Hey Virgo, welcome to the Path Illuminated. My name is Kimberly. This is going to be an energy for the Virgo collective, and these messages will find you when they are meant to find you. Thanks for being here. Gonna get going right away and hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Thank you, angels, spirits, and guides. What messages do we have for the Virgo collective at this time? Get another card, Virgo. Okay. All right, Virgo. So the first two cards out are reverse cards. Now, these aren't necessarily negative simply because they are reversed. A lot of times they can be an internal energy. But first card out is Queen of Pentacles, but it is reversed. And so what I'm getting here is maybe right now things feel a bit unstable for you. Maybe you're feeling unsure, unstable about your finances, about your job, about some investments. And you know, like if we're thinking collectively about the world around us and the global economy, this is completely understandable. So it could just be simply that because of external forces, external circumstances, what's happening in the world around us, that you are feeling a bit unstable and maybe just like not exactly sure how to use your energy right now, or you're not exactly sure what to do about finding some stability within yourself at this time. And like I said, there's so much that's going on right now that it's totally understandable. Let me just, where I am, it's cold, it's rainy, and I had like a little space heater on, but I don't want that to interfere with the sound. I did just recently order a microphone that I think will help with the sound. So anyways, I digress. So I feel like you're feeling a little bit unstable right now. Again, this could be something personal. Maybe there is some disruption at work. Maybe you have some concerns about job stability. Maybe if you are, you know, someone who owns their own business, or you're an entrepreneur, perhaps, you know, you are feeling like there is a lack of clients coming in or opportunities for you to make money. But again, it could also just be the impact of what's happening collectively in the global economy, which would make a ton of sense. Second card out we have is the Magician, but also reversed. So again, I'm getting this sense of that you're wondering what it is that you can do to turn your luck around. I get the sense from these two cards and this Magician card in particular that you are feeling like the things, the abundance, the opportunities that you've been working to manifest, it feels like they're not coming in for you at this time. Now, something that I say to myself, I repeat to my clients is, manifestations delayed are not manifestations denied. Just because things feel stagnant and slow at this time doesn't mean that they aren't going to manifest for you. It doesn't mean that this energy isn't going to turn around, but this is an acknowledgement that you could be feeling this way. It could be feeling like you're turning your wheels, you know, you're engaging in practices and rituals that in the past have opened doors and cleared roads for you, but it's feeling like there is like a wall, right? There's an obstacle, there is a challenge in you getting the things that you need and you want at this time. So let's go a little bit deeper, Virgo. Angels, spirits, and guides. Okay, interesting. I'm just gonna get one more card, Virgo. Super interesting. All of these cards are coming reversed, so there's a lot of work going on in your inner world right now. Two more cards came out, so we'll take them. Okay, I like these cards. So we have the Page of Wands reverse and the Knight of Swords reverse. And what I would say is, like, if there's something new that you've been trying to start, if you've been trying to start a new project, a new business venture, a partnership, you're feeling hesitation at this time, or again, you're feeling like a lack of inspiration. I'm feeling like a density of energy that you are struggling with. Virgo, you are a very motivated earth sign, and you also can have some perfectionist tendencies. And when things don't go the way that you would have anticipated or wanted them to go, that can have an impact on your motivation. So I think it's really important to take a step back, right? Go within. Like I said, the reverse cards are a lot of internal energy, and understand what is your perspective on the situation. What is your perspective on the job, on the contract, on, this business associate, whatever it is that you are feeling like you're not getting, the return on investment, you're feeling a lack of motivation, you're not seeing things come to fruition like you're used to, you're feeling like you can't find the spark. And is that real, or is that because you're overthinking? Maybe you are overly attached to things happening in a certain way, in a certain time, and that is having an impact on your confidence in moving forward. Just because things aren't happening as quickly as you want them to, again, doesn't mean that they're not going to happen. And what I would say is, if you're not feeling motivated, go within, ask your inner self some questions, right? Like, why is this? Is it because there is a misalignment in this job, in this project, in this business associate, in your offering, or does this have to do with you sort of overthinking and talking yourself out of something, right? Like, we can do that sometimes when things aren't going quite exactly the way that we want them to. So I think it's just a matter of perspective, and maybe this could just be a time where you need to go within, right? Like, maybe you've been pushing and working really hard for a long time, and so energy naturally ebbs and flows, and so this is a way for you to take a step back. If you feel like you're forcing things, that's a really good indicator that you should take a step back. You should pull your energy back so that you can take a higher perspective and ask yourself, like, why aren't things moving forward? Why am I feeling a lack of motivation? Am I overthinking the situation, or is this an indicator of something deeper that I need to ask more questions about? And then we have Knight of Swords, also reverse. So I'm feeling, again, a lack of clarity, lack of motivation, confusion around what action to take next and what to do next. And again, something that I repeat to myself and to my clients often is, if you don't know what decision to make, what action to take at this time, do not force it. Trust that the reason you're feeling the hesitancy, there's a reason, right? I don't know what that is. It's going to be different for each Virgo that's here, that's feeling called to this message. But trust that there's a reason why there is a slowdown. Trust that there's a reason why there's some sort of hesitation in your energy. Don't force it. Definitely don't force it, right? Again, take a step back. Take a higher perspective, give yourself some time, and trust that when it's time for you to make a decision, when it's time for you to take action, you're going to have clarity and motivation and confidence to do that. And if now is not the time, now is not the time. Again, don't force it. We have the Judgment card upright. So I love to see this, because for me, this is an indication that your angels, your spirits, your guides, God, whatever you want to call it, the universe, is actually doing something in the background, right? To work in your favor. And this is also, I believe, an admonition, advice for you to trust your judgment, your inner judgment, your higher judgment, because I think, Virgo, right, you are an earth sign, so you tend to be, you want to be grounded and logical and practical in your approach. And sometimes when it comes to intuition and trusting our guides and trusting our higher guidance, right, there is sometimes an illogical method to the madness, is what I heard. But this is about learning to trust that higher judgment, learning to trust the downloads that you're getting, learning to trust your intuition. And maybe this is a new muscle that you're learning to flex. Maybe this is a new way you're learning to run your business, show up at work, show up in relationships, right? But even if things aren't happening again as quickly or in the way and the manner in which you want them to, detach from that and understand that there's something deeper going on behind the scenes that your logical mind cannot perceive at this time. And then we have the card of justice, again, divine justice working in the background to bring balance. I don't know, Virgo, you tell me, are you somebody that has a tendency to overgive, be a workaholic, be a control freak, be a perfectionist? Whatever this slowdown is, whatever this stuck feeling, whatever this roadblock is that you're perceiving as an obstacle, it's actually an opportunity for you to come into more balance and to ask yourself, am I forcing things? Am I doing too much? Am I giving too much? Am I overworking myself? Am I getting into workaholic tendencies where I'm forcing things versus, you know, allowing the other party to bring as much to the table as I am, right? Like, I'm thinking, as this is an example, but this is what came to my mind. It's like, you know, if you're an entrepreneur, right, and you just start talking to somebody who's maybe kind of interested in your offerings, your services, and they reach out to you and they ask you like, hey, like, I'm interested in XYZ. Can you let me know, you know, what the timeline is, what the prices are? And then you explain that to them and they're like, okay, I appreciate that. I'll let you know if and when this works for me. And you might have a tendency to feel like you need to chase that client down for you know, their money, their, you know, to work with them. And I feel like this is a time for you to trust that, like, things are going to come to you without you having to overgive and overwork and force it. But you might just be used to always pushing the envelope and always making things work, even when it requires so much of your time, energy, and attention to. And like, the universe is using this perceived block, this perceived roadblock, this perceived slowdown to help you come into inner balance and inner alignment and learn how to manage, right? When you're doing and when you're being, when you're executing and when you're sitting in trust and allowing things to happen organically and in divine timing, Virgo. So I'm liking these energies that, like I said, yeah, there's a lot of reversed energy, and definitely I think you're likely struggling with a slowdown, with a roadblock, with feeling like things aren't happening the way and how quickly you want them to. But again, right, everything happens for a reason, and sometimes, yeah, that can be triggering and that can be frustrating, but there's always something deeper that spirit, that the universe, that God, your guides, your ancestors, whomever it is you work with, is trying to assist you with, and it's actually working for you, if you're open to this lesson, right, Virgo? So let's go a little bit deeper here. Spirit, what? Ooh, that was super, super quick. Okay, so first card out here is the Hierophant. Definitely getting that there is a deeper spiritual lesson here for you to learn. And this could be a time, because Hierophant can oftentimes talk about some type of spiritual teacher or mentor, where instead of trying to force a situation, maybe this is a time for you to go deeper into your spiritual practices. Maybe there's a therapist or a coach that you can work with that is going to help you find the keys to learning this lesson, because I'm getting the feeling that, like, a real feeling that whatever this lesson is, Virgo, it's out of your comfort zone, and it's going to give you an opportunity to expand. But think about this, Virgo, like, when we grow the most is when we're out of our comfort zone. So if you're uncomfortable, that's actually good. We don't like to be uncomfortable, but there's something that the universe wants to teach you. And I know how independent Virgos can be, and I feel like this is an opportunity for you to reach out for some support, where you can be more in that student phase of, like, learning how to work with the stalled energy, learning how to work with not exactly knowing what to do or how to do it or when to do it or when to take action, right? Like, it can be really, really beneficial to have that outside perspective from somebody who is, you know, who's got a certain set of skills and experience that they can help guide you through this process, right? So I definitely would look into that. If you have a coach, maybe look into getting a coach. it could be any type of modality. Like for myself, I've had coaches I worked with, I have a therapist I see, I have tarot readers I work with, I have a personal astrologer I meet with regularly, and all of those are ways of deepening our understanding of ourselves, and can be really beneficial when we come to these places in our life where we are out of our comfort zone and we're looking for a bit more support, and we do want to learn whatever lesson, you know, that we're having an opportunity to learn, right? Mm-hmm. Another reverse card, Queen of Swords reverse. So definitely another confirmation that there's a lack of clarity in your mind. There's a lack of clarity in how you want to move forward. You could even be struggling with your communication. It may feel like you can't get your thoughts. Your thoughts are very muddied. You're stuck oftentimes in overthinking, which again, like working with a mentor, working with a coach, working with a therapist, or some other sort of spiritual practitioner can help you work through that and figure out like what's the deeper layer here, what's the deeper lesson, right? But I think you're definitely struggling because I think you're really, really used to being clear in your communication, clearing your thoughts, and clearing your execution. But right now, there is a stalling, there is a block, there is, you know, like a lot of things that are holding you back, and you need to trust that. Again, don't force it, Virgo, right? And try to go a little bit deeper. Don't judge yourself, right? This is not a personal failing. This is happening for a reason. These challenges are coming to you for a reason, but you're going to need to open your mind and your heart to see that deeper perspective versus going down that path of being self-critical and thinking that there's something wrong with you, or you're just being lazy, or, you know, whatever it is. Like, you don't need to be in judgment. I think it's about being curious over being judgmental over yourself right now, Virgo. The Fool. You're being prepared to take a leap of faith. You're being prepared to get even more uncomfortable than you are at this time with this stalled energy. And that is really on track with my own personal experience. Is like, oftentimes before we launch forward, oftentimes before something big, a big transition, a big change, a big life event, things, energy, activity will slow down because spirit, the universe, God, your guides, your ancestors, they want you to be prepared for the leap of faith that is going to be required, for the work that is going to be required, that is going to be even more out of your comfort zone than right now. You think being stalled, being stuck, feeling stagnant, not knowing what to do is uncomfortable, but I'm getting the indication like rest. Rest for the road ahead, because like you're going to be required to take a leap of faith, and it's going to be really exciting. But even though it might feel like, oh man, like I want to do this or that or the other thing, and things aren't happening, like you can, again, it's all based on perspective. You can see it as like a roadblock, or you can see it as an opportunity to go within, to build up your energy reserves, to go deeper with yourself, to, you know, deepen your spiritual practices, to form those levels of support that you're going to need for this fool's journey that is coming towards you really actually sooner, I think, than you know, Virgo. All right, let's get a couple more cards here for Virgo. Thank you for being here. The messages are resonating. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Woo. All right. Okay. Let me just move these cards, Virgo. Let's get one more to close this reading out. Okay, Virgo, these are your challenges. Strength reverse, temperance reverse. Strength. It is not a weakness to slow down. It is not a weakness to take your time. It is not a weakness to go within. These go hand in hand. I think that there's an opportunity for you to deal with some insecurities about the way that you are perceived in the world, because this is a card of Leo. You're used to executing at a very, very high level, and you hold yourself to an extremely high standard. And when you're not executing at the level that you expect of yourself, which is very high, you are, like I was saying before, you can be very critical of yourself and very judgmental. And there's a certain way that you understandably want to carry yourself. And when you feel like you're not holding yourself up to that standard, you also start to be more affected by the way you believe you're being perceived by other people. Understandable. You want to be continued to be seen as someone who is strong, as someone who is dependable, as someone who executes on what they say. And those things are all admirable. But again, being critical of yourself and being judgmental is not really going to be useful for you at this time, right? Like, this is an opportunity for you to learn how to give yourself the grace that you would afford to other people. This is an opportunity, right? This is an opportunity to go deeper with yourself and to build your confidence for those times where you're not operating at 110% like you prefer to, Virgo. Temperance reverse. Like, I can see that you're struggling with being patient with the process and with yourself. You want to execute. That's the biggest energy I get here, is that like you want things to move forward in the way and in the time that you want, and that's understandable. But spirit is wanting you to go deeper. Spirit is wanting you to come into balance. Spirit is wanting you to trust and have faith, because there's a reason why things are not moving forward. And instead of moving to being judgmental of that process and automatically thinking that it's a negative situation, it's all about you taking that perspective and asking yourself, why am I so judgmental of myself? Why am I so impatient with myself? Why am I so impatient with the process, right? Like, time is a construct. Time isn't even real, Virgo. Like, I know it's easy for me to say that as a Pisces because of the way that I operate in this reality, but like, control is also an illusion. I know, Virgo. I know. I'm sorry. So I think like the universe, this is happening for you to reframe your perspective. You are being made uncomfortable for a deeper lesson, for a deeper truth, for a deeper understanding of yourself and of what your purpose is. And ultimately, if you can trust this process even through the discomfort, you're going to find the ability to have a deeper level of confidence in yourself, even when things don't go the way that you had planned or anticipated. And like, you can continue to try to force things, Virgo. You can, right? Like, you have free will like anybody else, but you're going to miss the lesson and the blessing if you don't allow spirit to help you pull back and gain a bird's eye view of these programs that are operating in the background, that are pushing you and pushing you from a place of, again, like being critical of yourself when things don't go exactly to plan, right? And this is going to give you the opportunity to deepen your faith and to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And on the other side of that, I guarantee you there's something beautiful. I know this is very challenging energy, but if anybody can work through this and elevate and evolve and mature and deepen their wisdom and the medicine that they can give to others through this personal lesson, it's you, Virgo. All right, so I'm sending you lots of love. I hope the messages are supportive. I am going to close this out with a card from the Animal Spirit deck. Final messages for Virgos. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, y'all. You got this, Virgo. Okay, we have the oyster. I'm just going to look this up in the book. All right. Oyster, patient, secret keeper, hiding inner treasures. The focus and determination of the oyster is unmatched. Anything an oyster personality puts their mind to, they achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is, oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. They become shy or doubtful, and this can lead to withdrawing or protecting their deepest desires in life's work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasures. What is it you've been hesitant to share? The world is waiting to see. When in balance, feels blessed, generous, masterful. When out of balance, reluctant, gripping, clams up. To bring into balance, share something. So with this particular card, I'm definitely going back to the Hierophant, and I think like finding a safe person, mentor, teacher, coach, tarot reader, astrologer, associate that you can talk through your frustrations right now. They're going to help you see that you're being overly hard on yourself and overly critical. They'll be able to reflect back to you that actually there's a lot more that you're doing and learning through this process than you're giving yourself credit for, Virgo. So be kind to yourself, be patient with yourself, trust the process, Virgo, and I will see you next time. Bye.